want to talk a little bit about the purpose of why we are on the call today.
We are still hearing music. I don't know if everybody is hearing music, but it's a little distracting.
And all right, now I can get back to it. That was a really good introduction, right? Too bad I didn't record it. But welcome again to the to session 3, creating your own UTA experience from a Maverick parent and family perspective. This is going to be a great evening because we have some really great guests on the call with us that we'll be introducing in a few minutes. But I want to discuss really briefly the purpose of why I've decided to host these e-series for Maverick parents and family members. It's because we get great attendance during New Maverick orientation, and our office has really tried to outreach to parents and family members throughout the years and throughout the semester. And it's hit or miss when we engage with parents and family members. And we've had the luxury of hosting events where we can really visualize our parents and family members, see them, hug them, greet them, welcome them. And due to COVID-19, we can't really have that physical affirmation that we are connecting with parents and family members. And so this was a great way for us to accelerate some of the great programming that I fully intended to propose later on down the road, but COVID-19 allowed us to stretch and to be innovative. And it has allowed us to really re-envision how we communicate with parents and family members. And so I truly feel like these e-series, this MAV Essentials Live e-series is a virtual toolkit for student success and for Maverick Family Connection, a way for you to put a couple tools into your toolkit so that you're able to help support your student, not just from that transition from high school to college, but every year thereafter, because they're going to need you. You are our best effort in retaining your student every single year. And you are also hopefully their trusted advisor. And so we want to make sure that we are giving you and equipping you with the appropriate tools to be successful in helping support your student. So yes, this is an extension of what you have learned through orientation, but I really want to dive deeper into some of the hot topics, some trends that I have been seeing over the years as it relates to parent and family involvement, engagement, education, and support. And so this is one way we're doing it. So I hope that you join me every session that we host. We started last Thursday, like I mentioned to you all before, and we're going to go all the way through November 10th. We will be offering these sessions after this week. We will be offering these sessions every 2 weeks on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. I'm sorry, on Tuesdays at noon, and then on Thursdays at 6 p.m. This event today was the exception simply because we do have an event this evening at 6 p.m. that we're hosting with our friends with Campus Recreation. So we didn't want to interfere with that programming. So this is our only 4 o'clock event. So do know that we will try to do everything after hours because we found that that is when most parents and family members are available. So, with that said, we do have a couple things that we want you to get out of this. You're spending a good hour with me and my team and with our special guests every single session. And we want you to feel like you're getting something out of this. And so we do have a couple outcomes that we hope you achieve through every session, if not over a period of sessions. So first things first, we really hope that you're able to identify university resources, campus departments that are here to help support your students, not only through COVID, just to be successful in life. Another outcome we hope that you achieve is to be able to explain what you've learned on these sessions to other family members and definitely to your students. And then also, we hope that you're able to support your students' academic and personal concerns, and even their progress, help to support them in a very unique and special way. And then lastly, we just want to know if these sessions are helpful to you in any way, if they're a helpful resource. We want to make sure that we are tapping into your needs as parents and family members every single time that we offer this. to you all. Now, we do have some housekeeping rules whenever we have these sessions. I do want to make sure that you all know that this is a community of Maverick parents and family members. And so let's just keep it a community. We are a family. And so let's just make sure that we're keeping our comments and questions kind and respectful. And speaking of comments and questions, do know that we have a couple folks in the chat to help us navigate questions and concerns, and we'll do our best to answer them timely. If not, we'll leave room at the end to help answer them for you. We have Annie Quinney in the chat. She's one of our undergraduate student liaisons. She's on the call to help field some questions and some other key figures from campus. Also, just make sure that you check your microphone, make sure that it is off whenever you are not speaking. And then just know that we're here to help support you. And if we don't know the answer that you've asked, we will do our best to go and research it and throw it in the chat. And if there's something we aren't able to get right away, then we'll circle back and respond back to you as soon as we possibly can. Okay? Also, say cheese. We're going to try to take a family photo toward the end of this session just to commemorate the experience, to let everyone know that we are live, we are virtual, and we're having a great time. You know, these Mav Essential Live sessions are not necessarily designed to be formal in a way. We really want them to be informal and allow families to feel comfortable coming in and out of the sessions and learning what they need to learn, and then popping out if they need to, and staying the entire time if they'd like. But feeling really comfortable asking questions of our special guests, and certainly want you to feel comfortable with other family members. So I hope you enjoy it.
Ms. Tasha?
Now let's get down to business. I'm going to introduce our very first guests that we have on the call. We have two families on the call. We have the Klovinsky family, and we also have the Morell family. And I put them on the slides in order by last name. But the great thing about both of these families is that they have been actively involved with our office since 2018, since they started with our office, and they crafted and created their own UTA experience right along with their students, which is really the reason why I've asked them both to be a part of the call, simply because they have been active, but I just love their family. I just love them. They just are really good people. They really value what our office has to offer, and they are Mavericks through and through. Haley, I think that they are more Maverick spirited than their children are. Haley and Samuel really have to compete for Maverick spirit with their moms and dads. So that's the reason I asked them to join the call. And do know that we will try to host some sort of parent panel every month if we're able to find topics that are relevant to you all. So they have a daughter, Haley, who is a current student. And then they've been members since 2018. I'll let them introduce themselves, give a brief overview of, you know, some lessons learned and some things that they know for sure. So I'll leave it over to you, Tim, Sheila. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Hey, Mavs family. So yeah, we have a daughter. She's in the nursing program there, and we searched high and low in Texas to look for a school, and this was a fit. We visited probably 5 or 6 times when she was a junior and a senior, and we're just happy to be part of the UTA family. It's like home for Haley and even us and our grandparents are Mavericks through and through.
Yeah, we live in Katy, which is west of Houston. So we're about 4.5 hours away. So for us, it was important for us to make sure we found the right fit. Sending her, that seemed like really far for us. This was our oldest, our firstborn. So we made sure we spent as much time as we could on campus. We got to know as many people as we could, from Tasha to the security to everybody. And it just was the right fit for her, for not only her nursing, but her choir and her personality and the diversity, you know, things that were really important to us.
Perfect. Thank you so much for introducing yourselves and for sharing a little bit about what you've learned and what you know for sure. I know that we have some questions toward the end on our panel discussion that we'll be able to get into a little bit more of what it is you have to offer. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, I want to apologize. I didn't know that the music was playing in the background earlier, so I turned it off.
Mhm.
Perfect. All right, so let's introduce our next guest speakers. We have the Morel family. They've been members, like I mentioned before, members since 2018. Samuel is a sophomore at UTA, and they also have a daughter that just recently transferred into UTA just last year. She is a graduate student in, I believe, the social work program. Am I right, Deborah?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, correct. And so I'm going to allow them the chance to introduce themselves and share some lessons learned and some things that they know for sure.
Well, hi, I'm so excited about being on this call. Appreciate the opportunity. Lessons learned. Oh my goodness. Of the many lessons learned, I guess the first thing is fit is everything. And when we found ourselves at UTA and during the orientation activities, and my son turned to us and said, I feel like I'm at home. And so that was the first lesson, fit is everything. And he's felt that way ever since. And so based on that, we were able to just dive right in. We just interfaced with whomever we could, like our previous speakers. We talked to everyone, even in the bookstore. Every opportunity that we saw someone, whether they were on staff or students, was an opportunity for a conversation. So that's basically it in a nutshell. He couldn't have chosen a better school, and it was easy for us to support him through the Parent and Family Center. So I can't say enough.
Thank you so much, Deborah.
Sure.
Is Samuel on the call with you today?
Yes,
Samuel is.
Hi, Samuel. How are you?
Good. How are you, Miss Tasha?
I'm pretty good. Did you Sheila, Tim, did you guys get Haley did you get her to get on the call too?
Now she's actually in her nursing clinical at UTA right now. So she's there all day today from like 10 to 5, I believe.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
actually,
We're gonna
he
let
wanted
her-
to be on the call.
Yeah, we're gonna let her just be.
Yeah.
That's what she should be, right?
That's
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
I'm so glad you're on the call, Samuel. You can help us give a student perspective about your parents and family members' involvement. So feel free to chime in.
Yes, ma'am.
Whenever you feel is necessary, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Well, let's just dive right into the panel discussion. And so this is a panel discussion. I have some questions that I have created to kind of help with the flow of the conversation. But if you're on this call today, do know that this session is for you. And so if you have questions or if you would like to know, like for them to elaborate on something more, please feel free to throw that in the chat. Or raise your virtual hand, and let us know that you have a question, okay? That's how we will work this panel discussion and allow them the chance to share a little bit of insight on their UTA experience and what they've done to help create a good positive one for themselves thus far. Because they were in your shoes just recently, right? Just a couple years ago. Didn't it go really quickly, guys?
Too fast.
Too fast.
Very,
right?
very quickly. Very, very quickly.
I would imagine that's challenging. And, when you all started 2 years ago, my daughter was 4 years old.
Yeah.
And I had a 12-year-old in 6th grade. My gosh, the time has flown.
Mhm.
So, okay, I'm gonna dive into my very first question. And Sheila, Tim, Deborah, Sam, just feel free to just jump in there and answer. If you feel like you have an answer, we're not going to formalize it and,
Okay.
have each of you take a question. But my first question is, what have you done to create your own unique Maverick experience separate from your students' experience?
Well, for us, like I mentioned, we are about 4.5 hours away. So we really had no experience with UTA. It's not like our town's, campus. Only knew one friend who was there before Haley was. So we started with almost nothing. So we made sure that every opportunity we had, drop off or pick up or the visits, we've been there for every parent event. We got to know the campus well. We got to know the area well. We try out all the eateries and go to all the cute little places in the area. So we felt like we were part of it. And that way we could share it with our daughter as well. We kind of understood what she was talking about. And we also got to know, more people like you guys, you and Casey, who used to be with Pear, and the security, some friends in the security department.
Yeah,
Of course.
Officer Randy, we got to be real good friends with Officer Randy, and he ensured us he would take care of our daughter like there was his own granddaughter, and that was special.
Yeah.
Running into the people that you guys, there at the campus make the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since we're not very close, we just wanted to feel part of it and get comfortable with it. And we do, even though we're not very close, we do feel part of it.
Yeah.
When y'all did the Maverick Days, y'all really took us to a lot of events and places around Arlington that we just really liked and felt was great for the students, but also good for the parents. And that was a nice connection y'all did back those last 2 years.
Yeah. So during Parent and Family Weekend, we typically host like a off-campus excursion. It allows you to really discover the city of Arlington. It's growing in so many beautiful ways, and we're so close to downtown Arlington that I can't resist it. It's just in my nature. I have to get out into the city. I have to get out and help you all explore it. And it's growing, and even during COVID, they've continued the work on downtown because, of course, it's connected to Cowboy Stadium, and so that all has to look really good, and have very vibrant activities for people to participate in. And so we just have so much to offer, and we'll just keep it coming, keep it coming. So I was very happy to offer it for you all. Perfect. So Deborah, tell me, or even Samuel, how does your student, how do you feel, Samuel, about your mom's level of involvement? Was there ever a discussion about it?
Yes. So I like my parents being involved. I mean, I grew up with my parents being involved almost pretty much in every school function and system that I was in. And personally, to me, I think it's important because, when my parents are involved, I feel like they have my back, and I feel like they're with me there. But we live 3 hours away from UTA, and I feel like they're still there even when they're 3 hours away from me. So I think for parents and students, I know like the whole independence thing in college is great, but having your parents involved is kind of it's a pretty nice thing to have, just because you feel that they're there with you, but you still have your level of independence. It's kind of like having interdependence. You're out there on your own on the college campus, you're doing your work, you're meeting friends, and on the other hand, you also have your parent sitting right there beside you in their own volunteer space 3 hours away. It's kind of like just connecting borders over how many miles.
Yeah. Deborah, would you say that involvement and engagement means something different than in high school? What was your level of involvement? What has been involvement?
Well, I earned my stripes as a band mom for about 4 years. And so, it's really interesting because there's always extremes to everything. I mean, there's the one where you pack them up, you drop them off and say, see ya. And there's the other side where like, don't call us, we'll call you. Or the
Right.
other side where you're just wanting to linger. But I just felt like it was a natural transition. I will always remember your example about the tandem bicycle, where the parent is, I want that. May I have that, please?
Of course.
And so
course.
the fact that the presentations and the speakers were so thorough, my husband and I looked at each other at orientation and said, you know what, if we had to leave him here right now today, we could do that and feel so comfortable. So allowing him that independence was natural because of the support systems that were in place. That was huge. I mean, we couldn't we couldn't ask a question fast enough because the answer was already there. Those things that the parent may not want to say, am I going to be that parent? Everything was covered so thoroughly. So that made it a very natural and eventful time for us. So I can't say enough. We're just so appreciative.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love this work, and it can be a daunting task to nudge the nudgers and to help to educate parents and family members about their level of transition that they may not necessarily recognize that they must take with their students. And so I find it an honor to have those real in-depth conversations with them. So thanks for pointing that out, because we do work hard to try to ensure that you all understand.
And also the coin, when people ask me about, my family makeup, and I say, well, I have an adult child, a young adult, and something I learned from orientation, an emerging adult.
Yes.
So I like that.
You're absolutely right. You're right. So tell me, Sheila, Tim, tell me about, what sort of programs you're 2 years removed from Haley's freshman year, and I believe your other daughter is in college now too, right?
One more year.
One more year. She's a senior.
One more year. One more year. Okay. So tell me, when Haley was a freshman, what sort of programs and resources and services did you all seek when she was, transitioning in? What did you gravitate more toward? I know that you mentioned campus police. I know you mentioned, admissions, but what sort of resources were you kind of felt like you really needed to get a handle on or know more about?
Well, like the other family who's been speaking, Haley's very, very active. She's been involved in everything from sports to fine arts and volunteering. So we really wanted to know what kind of programs you guys had, clubs you guys had, activities, because we know she likes to be very active on campus. So for her, it was more of what are the activities and programs outside of her major that she can be involved in, getting to know them, getting aware of them, finding out how and when to get involved in them. Obviously, we looked into things like financial aid and merit aid. We wanted to learn more about that, and it was very easy to work with you guys with that. UTA was very generous with the merit aid, which was wonderful. The programs like this one, the Parent Family Center program, again, you guys opened so many doors and helped us navigate this much easier and made us feel a part of it. I clicked on every Facebook page I could find so I could be felt involved in that way too and learn more about UTA and what was going on there. Like I mentioned, the safety, we've made sure we understood the tap rides and the shuttle services. The first year we did not have Haley take a car, so we wanted to make sure she knew how to navigate around campus and utilize the shuttles that went off campus and how to get around the area. And, she was involved in a lot of things like freshman leaders on campus and volunteering and choir. And so it was just getting to know all these different avenues and what she may be interested in doing.
Tam, I have a question for you. What was and this might, I don't want to pry at all, but this is a question that many families have. What was that like, making the decision not to have her bring her car the freshman year?
It was an adjustment. I mean, it was just interesting to like not be kind of on campus. Well, not on campus, but be more on campus because as a previous family stated, there's just when you're an active student, you just can't go to college and then not be active. That's kind of been your life for about 4 years. So when I got on there, I wanted to make sure that I was on campus as much as possible because there's just so much to offer. And also, the campus is just so beautiful. There's trees, you can walk around. I mean, you have fountains everywhere. You have the MAC. It's just a beautiful place to be. So not bringing a car kind of, gets you acclimated to that campus environment. And then as you develop more often, that was the decision to bring in the car because I'd already taken in so much of the campus.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Tim, was that a hard decision for Haley to wrap her head around?
Not really. She's kind of like Sammy. I mean, she likes to get involved, and she knew the first year would be really wanting to just engage with the campus. And one thing I really love about UTA is it didn't have a football program where everything wasn't centered around just 8 Sundays or 8 Saturdays a year. And I felt we visit all these other colleges, that y'all made such a big deal of actually getting to know what that individual's personality, what they would like. I mean, we had everything from different organizations to different programs with that. It seemed like the kids there just were so unique. And I mean, Haley really found her niche because it's more about the kids and their feelings and their campus than it is about, this big football stadium and buying merchandise for, so that's what I really enjoyed about it. But no, and having a car sitting in my garage and not getting any fender benders, so that was an actual nice feeling.
Yeah.
And I could know where she was all the time. So it wasn't bad for me at all.
Yeah. That's great. I'm going to skip around a little bit to make sure that I get some of the really good questions I have on my list. So tell me a little bit about Deborah, tell me, how have you redefined your parenting style over the years? And do you find that you have become an effective, trusted advisor?
I would like to think so. No pressure with Samuel sitting here. I would like, no pressure. I'm not, no arms are being twisted or anything, but I would like to think so. And recognizing that it is a process, but being able to communicate with him, and when he would call, there are phone calls, and perhaps maybe he had a decision to make or something, because of the information that I had, I was able to say, well, what about this? Or what about student success? Or so it like I said, it was just such a natural segue. I wasn't telling him what to do in a sense. I was just saying, have you thought about, because I mean, let's face it, you cannot dictate from 3 hours away, but only hope that the foundation that you've laid, that they will fall back on that. And it hasn't been perfect, but it's not supposed to be. That's the beauty of it. They make mistakes, it's recoverable, they grow, and it's like, you know what, I think I'll do that differently next time. So so it was, again, I have to say, we have been so blessed, by every program. And again, it was just a natural way to be. Okay, here it is, the expectations, you have expectations for yourself, and we're here for you. Right. So
So both families, you all seem like you have pretty independent students, and they've kind of grown into that independence over time, even more so now that they're sophomores. Can you tell me a little bit about what strategies you find yourself kind of doing to help support them. You know, it's one thing to have a student that hasn't necessarily gained all of their independence yet. They're still a little dependent on parents and family members. But I know that it's starkly different for those families that experience a student that pretty much does a lot of it on their own, and they're self-starters. So how do you find yourself, what things do you gravitate toward to help support them in their student growth and them gaining that level of the independence into adulthood?
Well, for us, initially, early on, freshman year and all, of course, we tried to get all the information we could and get familiar with everything so that we could really advise her more and help her more. Like Deborah mentioned, when they call, you could help them navigate through something because you're aware of it. But now as she's getting older, I'm trying to step back and really just be there for support and encourage her to solve the problems. Just maybe a simple text or email of an idea, and that's it. And then I'll step back and let her take it from there. Now that, you know, after that freshman year, now things are more on her, because we want them to grow in independence each year. You know, she's in a year and a half going to be out on her own. And, you know, that, to me, that's what college years are all about, just them slowly growing in their independence and taking over the reins from there. So, you know,
Sheila, I'm going to ask you to go a little deeper. I'm going to ask you, do you do breathing techniques? Do you say, do you woosah?
Well, I fake it a lot.
Before we send that text, I mean, what do you actually do? I think this is a great opportunity for us to really drill deep into strategy. So to help other families know, you know what, it's good to have an overall overview of what you should do. Mm-hmm. But actually doing it is different, right?
I think the husband get a brunt of it. She gets off the phone with Haley, and then I get to hear what she really wanted to say. And so and she practices on me a lot. And so
it is true. It is a lot of fake it to make it. I'll send her a reminder of something or a thought, and then I let it go. Deep down, I want to call her. I want to say, is this okay? Did you do this? Have you followed up on this? But I don't. I, deep breathe. I wait. I hope I get a follow-up text. And I found the more space I give her, I actually hear from her more. Wow. If I don't, I don't tell her. I hear all the time parents, especially the freshman parents, saying things like on all these Facebook pages that us parents are on, saying things like, how many times do you get your kids to call you, and how do you get this done with your kids? And what I found is by not having these parameters and these rules, I actually hear from her more. And I have to accept a lot of times when it's a simple text, a simple yes or no, a simple thumb up. Even though I want so badly to call her and get a lot more, I just have to let it go because, maybe by tomorrow night she'll call when she feels comfortable, doesn't feel pressured by me, and I'll actually get to talk to her for 30 minutes. Yeah. So it is a lot of holding my tongue, giving her the space, which has gotten easier. I mean, she's a junior, so it has taken me a while to get to this point. Yeah. But I understand freshman year, it's not so easy, but now it's better because I see the progression in her and the growth in her, and I see it's working.
Yeah. So my niece graduated from college 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago now. And I remember having the same presentation that I gave most of you to my sister. And I talked to her about family business meetings. And lo and behold, we have a sister meeting at 6 o'clock every Wednesday. I won't say what it is, but we have that meeting, and it normally includes liquids. And we have a meeting. And yesterday, my oldest sister slipped up and said, her son is going into college now, and so she was like, every Wednesday, I have Isaiah come down, and we just have a talk, and we don't talk about anything else but just who he is as a person. And we talk about specific things related to him going to college. And the other days, we don't talk about anything else related to the college work or what he's doing as a senior. And I was like, man, that sounds very familiar. And she was like, I know, I got it from you. It's a family business meeting. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I have infiltrated my family. I'm excited about that.
One thing as a dad, what I did a lot when she was a freshman, that app that y'all have on the UTA app has
Mhm.
such a great interactive calendar. And for a college that I followed a lot of different colleges, y'all do a whole lot more activities. So I would just take a screenshot of, an event saying, hey, just an update. Would you may want to go attend this. And that was just my way of, she and I doesn't really have a long conversation like her mom and my mom does, but just a little, sometimes a screenshot of something or just encouragement that I'm proud of you. That just goes a long way, I think, for those little kids to know that there's somebody there with them.
Yeah, absolutely. We all love a little acknowledgement and a little praise for what we are doing and some things that we're not doing or not getting involved. So we do need to have a little bit of that, which leads into my next question. Tim,
Sorry.
discuss. No, you did. You knew exactly where I was going. Discuss your thoughts about when to praise, when to worry, or when to act. I think that's really important because you don't know when your new parenting skills are going to have to come into play. And so, Deborah, Tim, Sheila, tell me a little bit about when families should praise, when they should panic, worry, act. What are your thoughts about that? What's been effective? What's been ineffective?
Well, I'd like to chime in on one of those when I had to be a little bit more hands-on, even if from a distance, and I have Samuel's permission. It's important to monitor the debit card transactions. And I'm saying, okay, Whataburger, $17, DoorDash, what's this all about? But it turned out to be an educational moment because we got to, he was hungry, of course, starving student, but we got to discuss some things, and I'm glad that we had that conversation. It wasn't unpleasant at all, but it needed to happen. So just knowing when, to do that. I try to do praise as a response, but give a lot of encouragement up front.
Yeah.
As a confidence booster. So they kind of have a book in there.
Yeah. I like it.
I think with us, one thing that we got nervous about, but I think Marie and Haley have such a good open relationship, is that we wanted her to know, like, if you ever need something, no matter what time at night, whatever it is, to call us. And there was one evening where she was out late and it was raining. I don't think she really kind of even knew. It was so dark. It was the first time with her car out there last year. She just needed to have Marie on the phone to kind of navigate her through. And actually, Marie got on one of the apps for directions and kind of told her, well, take this turn. And Marie knows the campus better than probably anybody. She could be one of your tap drivers one day. And it's just that feeling of, I can call my mom and dad and tell them anything, and they're just not going to just rip me up now. I mean, maybe later, but right now I can feel like so that's when I think a parent needs to just need to be there for an ear.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very true. Kind of soften, because there will be some stumbling and a fall, but we can certainly soften it and say, you know what? Totally, we can do this. This is recoverable. Let's go. Let's get up and go. So.
I just realized, guys, I am on COVID time. Samuel and Haley are entering their junior year.
Actually, Samuel's entering his senior year. He surprised us. I feel a bit shortchanged. I wanted to be the class of 2022. So
I don't know what I was thinking. I'm on COVID time. I'm several months behind. They started the fall semester and they're entering a new classification. My apologies for not giving you the credit, Samuel. And tell Haley I apologize too.
That's okay.
Samuel, tell me a little bit, and I know we're way past our time on this discussion, but I feel like it's going so well, don't you?
Yes.
Give us a thumbs up if you feel like it's going well. Good. I have a quick question for you, Samuel. Can you give, from a student's perspective, can you give us some insight on when you feel like parents and family members should praise, when to worry, when to act?
Yes. So, my mom has been always been very encouraging to me. So, I think for parents and students, I think praising as like when I do well on an assignment, the first thing I do is tell my mom, or when I'm or I tell my dad, or when I'm trying to work on a project and I say I'm pretty tired. I think those are the times that encouragement comes into play, because being a college student, it's kind of like a full-time job plus overtime if you're really trying excel. So I think encouraging them when they feel a little bit tired or uh, down, and when to worry, I think, is just when we're like towards the ends of the semester, because that's the time when you know tiredness, being burnout, procrastination kind of sets in. And as a college student, it's really hard to get out of bed at end of December, and even when it gets close to holidays like spring break and Thanksgiving. So I think that's not a time to necessarily worry, but it's a time to kick up the encouragement and the praise even more, like you can get there, you can do it. And another one time to act, I would say, is when we have those really 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 hard days. I mean, as much as uh, we are emerging adults, we're still kind of navigating our way through the world and still doing that self discovery. So I
Yeah.
think that acting, a good time to act is towards, like I said, the end of the semester, because we get really tired, and sometimes you can get really sad because we're just really trying to do the best, because we want to honor our family, we want to do the best in our class, get the best grades. So I think that from a parent and a student perspective, it's just kind of a work in progress. It's testing a lot of different things, and just finding your own way to communicate with your student and your parent. But just as a student perspective, just communicate with your parents when you're feeling sad, or when you're upset, or when overwhelmed. You're starting a new phase of life, and it's never going to be easy. You go from high school and seeing your parents every day to not seeing them and kind of being an adult and living on your own. So I would just say work on it with your parents. Like any relationship, you have to put time, effort, and energy in making sure it's the best that it can be.
Samuel, you're
Good.
hired. You are hired, honey. I don't know what job. I
He'll
don't
be
know
looking for a
what job,
job.
but
He'll
you're
be
hired
looking
for
for a
something.
job.
Very good.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
All right, my last question to you all, and then I have to wrap this up, right? My last question is, um, because like I mentioned to you all before, the pendulum swings, based on your students' experience and your parenting style and all that good stuff. And so you all seem to have very independent students that are self-starters that, really have taken on leadership in their lives and student involvement. But what advice would you provide to family members that are not necessarily in that space? How can families that are experiencing all types of dynamics with their students best support their student? I'll give each of you an opportunity to share.
Ms. Tasha, can I answer again, or is that not?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So,
Go ahead, Samuel.
yeah, I know everyone has a different relationship dynamic, but just what I've learned is like nothing beats communication. Like at the end of the day, we all have our different personal struggles as families and students. We're not everything is always going to be perfect, but communication and honesty are probably the two biggest things. I mean, my parents, not it's I always haven't been the sunniest mood when I get a bad grade back, or I have a rough time with the teacher. I'm not, I'm getting overwhelmed. I think that just working together as a family is really important. It's a team effort. The best teams don't always have great stretches. Sometimes they have losing streaks, and they butt heads, and then they argue, but they always come together. And if anybody told you a team is always perfect, they probably be lying to you. So I
Yeah.
just be prepared for I say for me and our family, it's kind of like life is like a boxing match. Like you get knocked down sometimes, you lose some fights, but you go back, you train, and then eventually you just have to keep going. You have to keep training and keep finding and keep trying to make the best of your situation.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Samuel.
You're welcome.
Love that perspective. Anyone else?
I think Samuel said it well, but I also feel just about making sure that they know you're there, that you're offering your support, that you're their safe place. They can always come to you, that you're just going to navigate this together, because this is new for all of us. Even if you had multiple children go through this, each child is different. Each experience is different. So just let them know that you're navigating it with them, and you'll figure it out together. And they need to know that there are many things out there that can help them as well, and that you'll help find those avenues for them if they need the help, if they need support, if they need tutorials, if they need emotional support, if they need whatever it is that they need, that you'll figure it out together.
Yeah.
Marie was good about sending daily just care packages sometimes, just randomly, just mail her something that just kind of made her feel more at home. Maybe some special food that we can only get at the stores here in our location, or something simple just to let her know we're there. And then we took upon ourselves a lot to know their friends. So when we go to UT Orange and we took her suite mates out to restaurants, we always wanted to know them, and they actually shared their phone numbers, and we got to know their parents. And it's nice to be able to know their friends and who they are. And when they talk, we actually kind of know who they are. And when they see us on campus, they say hi. I think really getting to know their families too, and their friends, and actually being a part of their lives like we were in high school with their friends helps, kind of just get us closer to them than even though we're so far apart.
Yeah, I love that.
Man. And I like the practicality of it too, because for some families it could be a matter of distance. For others, it could be a matter of distance plus finances. We just never know. But the smallest thing you can do, like from the postcards, and I know the ones that the Parent and Family Center provides that say, "Oh, time to do your laundry." Those are so awesome. And so when I would send care packages to Samuel, I would use the postcard as a mailing label. So it's huge. You can't miss it. And then not that I got anything out of this, but I enjoyed going to the bookstore and getting my gear.
Yeah.
Shop, and the 10% discount. This sounds like a shameless plug, but the 10% discount that you get from being a part of the Parent and Family Association is wonderful. So, I mean, nothing is too small. Nothing is too small. It may not be perfect. It may not be polished, but it all matters. It really does.
I also want to say that family truly does mean whoever your student deems as family. And so that is in the traditional sense and in the non-traditional sense. And so if the student has an extended family network, anyone in the family can do the simplest things. They can take initiative in multiple ways. And so just share what you're learning with your extended family members and allow others to just pour into your student while they are on campus, so that they continue to have positive experiences. And if they don't have that network of positivity, then there's certainly many people on campus, our office included, that will act as a surrogate to help support students get through their college experience. My goodness, this has been a wonderful, wonderful panel discussion, don't you think?
Yeah.
Let's give them, everyone turn your cameras and let's give them a golf clap in your cameras, please. My goodness, this was wonderful. I want you to hop on the call and let me know if there were any questions that we needed to ask the panelists really quickly.
There are no questions that were asked.
You all did a wonderful job then, because there's no questions. It's great.
Thank you.
I do have a quick thing for you all, though. I'm gonna share my screen again. I messed myself up here. I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna skip down to this. We do have an event happening at 6 o'clock, so don't leave. Well, you can leave, but then log in. I'm gonna come back to that. I wanna go to this real quick before we leave. I want to go to what did you learn? So what did you learn? So in the chat feature, let you guys know that we're going to be taking a quick poll. We have a couple questions that we want to ask you just to know where you stand on it. So all we're asking you to do is just text parent family 344 to 37607 once, and then text your message. And we're going to use this same poll throughout all of the series. So all you got to do is use this text feature this one time, and then you're going to answer your this question. So my first question is, what resources did you learn about from from the Division of Student Success? That was from last week. That was definitely for this week. So don't answer that one. The next question is let's see. Next question is, do you feel you will be a better support? Do you feel you will be able to better support your student with the information you've learned today? Do you feel like you'll be a better support with the information you learned today? Text it into 37607, parent family 344 on polleverywhere.com. Let's see what your responses are, okay? We had such a lively conversation. I just forgot to stop and let you guys know that we will be doing this later on, but if you can fill out the poll, that'd be great. And if you just want to share what you've learned and how you can better support, you can turn on your microphone and just share it. Let's just talk about it real quickly. Turn on your mics. Let me know.
Can I add something, Tasha?
Yeah.
I just wanted to, I'm not trying to plug y'all or anything, but for the new parents, the parent family group, I'm sorry, I don't know the official name.
Association, Maverick Parent Family.
Yes, ma'am. It is paid itself over many, many times. From the discounts we've received, mainly for us at the hotels. We've stayed at the local hotels with taxes included, where they're advertising 150, we're doing it for like 85. I mean, for us, that's been a huge savings. Not only that, but you know, there's other discounts everywhere. Haley's gotten discounts at a couple of places she visited over the years. And obviously beyond that, the support and the networking, the information that is shared. So if anyone's even considering it, it's well worth it. It's paid itself over many times over. And if you're a freshman, I highly encourage you just to get the 4 years like we did. I don't think you'll find a price like that anywhere else. So it's been very helpful. So I just really encourage any new parents to absolutely look into that.
Thank you, Sheila. Really it does.
Over there.
What? Say that again.
He's on the couch. That's considered a couch.
Uh-oh, make sure your microphone is off.
Tasha, can I say something?
Yeah, say something.
Hi, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Susan Cunningham. I'm from California. I met you 2 weeks ago.
Yes, ma'am.
In the basement, yes. So, so I'm laughing at all of you talking about how you're 3 and 4 hours away from your children. I'm in California, 1,200 miles away. Sean is my first child to go to college. And one of the reasons why I joined the MAV family is because I was involved in PTO all through elementary school and high school. And just as a means of support in that, which has really helped. And I did have a friend have me read Grown and Flown, the book this year, which has helped me out immensely with everything, getting him ready for school and all that. So yeah, and he sent me flowers last Monday to thank me for getting them all situated there and everything. So
That's so sweet. Tell us the name of the book again.
it's called Grown and Flown.
Oh yes, Grown and Flown. Yes.
Yes, and it was a very good book. A lot of the stuff I found myself already doing, anyways. But it's a great book for people. I mean, their first kids going into college, kind of to get them ready for it. One of the things they said was to write a letter a couple of weeks before your child is going away, just because a couple days before she's going to write everything in it. So I did that and left that with him with some gift cards from some of the restaurants that are there locally on the campus. So, and had him open it after I left that Tuesday.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ms. Cunningham. And yes, I remember you. California mom.
That's right.
Of course. All right, I'm cognizant of the time. It is 5:00 p.m. I am willing to stay on if you all are for a few more minutes if you have questions or concerns you would like to share. Everyone good with it? You can hang out.
Ms. Tasha, quick question.
Yes.
So, is there a list of the hotels and places that give discounts, or how do we know which places, where we can use the membership card?
You got that. If you can drop the link in the chat, all you have to do is go to the main UTA website and type in Maverick Discount Program.
Okay.
Your students are members of the Maverick Discount Program, but because you are parents and family members, you only get access to that discount program through the Maverick Parent and Family Association. So when you type that in, it'll give you a list of all of the participating businesses, vendors, restaurants, hotels that work directly with UTA. There are some businesses that specifically work with families and only exclusively work with students, so they will have that identified on that site. But the majority of the businesses on there, in particular, a lot of the hotels and restaurants, work with parents and family members as well. So it's called the Maverick Discount Program.
Maverick Discount.
Also on y'all's app, Marie's pulling it up now.
On the app.
On the app, and we love Comfort Suites because whatever money we save, we go to Papacitos across the street. We walk there and eat all of it, but
Papacitos.
Yeah, but
yes, the UTA mobile app is really helpful. They have put the daily self-check that students should be tapping into before they return to campus every day. That's on the app. It's the very first icon on there for them to check. We have to do it as well as staff. Before we come to campus, we have to do a daily self-check. So it's just really helpful to just have it right there in the palm of your hand. So did that answer your question, Mom? Perfect. Are there any other questions or concerns?
One more, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
When do we know about the scholarships?
Scholarships are active right now. The application is up. I encourage your student to go apply. The application takes less than 5 minutes to complete. It's random draw and there is no essay. Now you cannot help, but don't leave any money on the table. Go and grab it.
Okay.
It's live right now. Tell your student to go and apply. We want to knock the record out of the books. Every year our numbers for applications increase, and we want to increase it every single semester. So.
Tasha, what I'd love also to add is for especially the freshman parents, there is so much support out there at UTA. Our daughter has spent countless hours getting free tutorials at UTA. So just make sure your kids are aware of that and take advantage of it. She has gone to have essays proofread and help with them. She has gone essays for school, essays for scholarships. The scholarship reminded me of that. And then specific classes. Her roommate tutors math. Her roommate last year tutors English. I mean, so there's so much help out there. I'm not sure this year if it's more online, but I do know her roommate is actually going in person and tutoring. So I don't know if she's doing it via computer, but she's there in a building doing it. So please make sure your kids take advantage of it. It's free, totally free. and you're supporting students too, because I think the students get paid, so it's a job for them. But
Yes.
support those kids, their jobs, and take advantage of the free tutorials. I mean, our daughter has spent countless hours there.
Just yesterday, I think Haley was doing the therapy dogs. They still are doing those at the library. She's working at the library now, and they had 45 people come and have 15 minutes with therapy dogs to just love on them, to get some, support. So they're still, you guys are still doing programs that I would thought would been just forgotten about. And that's really nice that y'all are doing them and just doing them different now.
Yeah, I mean, they had Maverick Activity Fair Day yesterday, and they had really strong numbers of students coming out wanting to know about student organizations. I mean, we're still doing it. We're still offering the majority of our services, but just virtually. And it just has allowed us the flexibility to stretch ourselves and be innovative in a way that we haven't had an opportunity to do before.
My son I signed up twice yesterday to go to the therapy dogs.
My daughter was there. They're so neat.
Yeah.
They're having t-shirt pickups still. They have virtual events, and then a lot of times they have t-shirt pickups where they can just come and grab t-shirts, and sometimes they even have box lunches for them. So we're really being thoughtful about how we are being safe, but also helping students feel connected, because we all have, virtual fatigue at times. Even you all have it sometimes too. And so, we'll try our best to ensure that we are being thoughtful about all circumstances, families that have their student at home with them, online, the hybrid situation, and the in-person scenarios as well, so that we're able to tap into everyone's needs throughout this semester. And hopefully we will be, masters at all of this by the spring and not have to worry about it, right?
Right.
Tasha, how can you find out about these?
We have Miss Margaret and then Miss Live.
Yeah, I have a new student. I am the freshman mom. I really appreciate the forum, and I didn't actually realize that parents at this level, like at the university level, can actually be as active as you guys indicate that we can be. I was always a very active mother through elementary school and high school, but my older daughter, once she went to college, she said, okay, that's it.
Yeah, there's a stigma to your level of involvement, and it really is different.
Yes,
you aren't necessarily fundraising. I mean, you're not doing all the things that you would do in PTA, but your level of involvement shifts a bit. And all the things that you have done to help the student be successful to get to this point, you're going to continue to do. And your level of involvement is just being there to support them, attending events, and helping to support scholarships and other resources that are available to them. Yeah.
And I do have access to the bank account.
Okay. Okay.
I am all
Yay!
having access to all these accounts. Also the academic account. If I have
think it's called, I think we can call that oversight.
That's a really good term.
Trust but verify.
Exactly.
But
we're not hovering. We're just having oversight.
Yeah. But I have a quick question regarding the scholarship. You mentioned that it's open. Is that the general academic scholarship, or is it called any other way? Or
it's called the Maverick Parent and Family Association Scholarship, MPFA. And so you go to that, go to uta.edu. Any, you're on duty. Here you go. Throw it in the chat. Any is going to throw the link in the chat, but you just go to uta.edu/parents. And then you go to impactful, you go to Parent and Family Association, and then there on the left-hand side, there is a link to the scholarship. Let me just go ahead and show you.
So yeah, if you can share a link, that would be fantastic, or something. Yeah.
You just go here /parents.
I just shared the link in the chat.
Perfect.
I'm not seeing it yet. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, got it.
Got it?
Yep.
Parent and Family Association, scholarship application. And then you scroll down, and so we want to encourage your student to complete this for themselves. You go to the link here, and it's really easy. It takes 5 minutes.
Fantastic.
And they can apply every semester if they won the semester before.
All right.
Now, I do want to share with you guys that, you know, we are hopeful that we're going to increase our membership so that we're able to continue to offer scholarships for the remainder of the year. But COVID-19 has been really challenging for our department to kind of recoup the funds. So we're working really hard to make sure that we're able to continue all of our offerings. And we'll notify all of you if there are changes, but we're fully intending to offer scholarships this fall or even in the spring as well. So just keep an eye out on all of that. We're all having an impact of COVID, just so you know. All right, it's 5:11. It's 5:11. So I want you all to have time. I want you to have time to go to the next event. Listen, we have partnered with our Friends of the Family from Campus Recreation, and they have a special Maverick Family Fitness class that they are putting on for parents and family members. Now, listen, this will be hosted every single month, but the key is you have to get your student on there. We want your student to get on there. And when you want to wear your Maverick mom and dad shirts and wear all your swag, we want to show our campus partners that parents and family members are connected. You are valuable members to our community and that you are engaged. So I do hope that you just tap in, even if you aren't working out, you're on your couch working out your arm with chips or whatever it is that you want to do. Come to the fitness class. It's tonight at 6 o'clock and it lasts till 7. And the link to it is in the chat. I also have been sending emails to everyone about it. So just link in and go. Our next events that we have coming up really quickly. We are done with Maverick Stampede. So all of the events that we've done thus far are part of our welcome weeks for all new students and current students. And it's called Maverick Stampede. We are a part of that. We've wrapped our last event, or we will wrap our last event tonight at 6. But then every event after this is just regular Parent and Family Center programming. So the next event is coming up on the 15th, and it's the Kids Are All Right Central Library Facebook Live event. And it won't necessarily be just the Central Library. It'll be all over campus. We'll give some good specific locations. And then, of course, we're going to have an in-depth overview with the new Student Access and Resource Center, formerly known as the Office of Disability Services. So they have some information on there. And I want to share with you, I can't wait for you guys to join in for October. Man, we have some good stuff. We are lining up some student panels. We have another parent and family panel for family members that are long distance, Miss Cunningham. 8-9 hours away for sure. We also have some parent panels coming up for families of multiples. They have multiple students in college. Some of our Friends of the Family from Multicultural Affairs to talk about a lot of the social unrest that's happening in our country, how you can best support your students. Oh man, so much more. I'm so excited for our schedule. I hope that you tune in. Thank you all so much for your time. And if you have questions, you know where to reach us. We're at the Maverick Family Warm Line at 817-272-2128, or you can reach us at your parent and family email account at parents@uta.edu. Listen, I want you guys to thank any in the chat. I want you to thank our guest panelists, the Klovinskis. Give them a round of a golf clap. Please thank the Morels, Sam and Deborah, for being on the call. Thank you all so much. Give them a golf clap as well. Thank yourselves. Listen, I hope you feel informed, empowered, and ready to go. I want you to make sure that you know that E-Series is not just about an electronic series. E-Series is defined as essential information that engages, educates, and encourages the entire family. That's what E-Series means. And I really hope that you enjoy it every single time that you tap in. Listen, have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go be with my family right now. So I'll talk to you guys at the next family-centered event. Have a great night.
Thank you, Tasha.
Bye.
Welcome. Bye-bye, everyone.